Guys, thanks for tuning in. This is OPTIBOTIMUS coming with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Generations Voyager class Roadbuster. Part of their thrilling 30, as you can see, the Wrecker comes to us with a very nice G1 look to him. Obviously updated to represent how he now looks in the current IDW comics. You come around here to the side, you got an image kind of wrapping around. You got the figure within and all of his weapons. You can see that it's a level 2 transformation, which is intermediate. You come around here to the side of him, Autobot Series 2, number 8. This side has a big Autobot logo. Come around here to the back, you got his tech specs, which is great. I love that. An homage to some of those original Transformers, and as part of a celebration for the 30 years of Transformers, it makes sense to have that. You got an image here of his combat 4x4 mode. It specifically says that's what it is. And then his robot mode. And it says, ask this Autobot who his greatest enemy is, and he won't name a Decepticon. He'll say it's boredom. To him, there's simply nothing more entertaining than turning a few Decepticons into a smoldering pile of scrap, and he never misses a chance to pursue his favorite pastime. Few Autobots are more eager to hurl themselves into combat, and fewer still have accomplished more on the field of battle. Now, they don't really get too much into the actual character of him, but as I said, he's a Wrecker. Now, I'm very unfamiliar with the Wreckers. I don't read the comic books. I'm not familiar with that. I mean, I kind of have an idea of what it is, so when it comes to reviewing this, I'm basically just going to be reviewing it on the merits of the toy itself. I don't know much about the character, so I can't speak to it very much. And unfortunately, I don't have the G1 toy for this, so a lot like my Armada Starscream Deluxe class figure review, I'm basically just going in this blind. So for the packaging, that's about it for it. So without further ado, let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Roadbuster opened up out of its packaging in his vehicle mode and all stickered up. And I gotta be honest, the stickers are not very good. As you can see here, I chose to put his Autobot logo on there. He also does come with a Wrecker logo. One thing that's really obnoxious though is, I don't mind the stickers. I really like putting stickers on it. It reminds me of when I was a kid and I was stickering up my old G1 toys. But I would really like it if the stickers actually fit where they're supposed to. There's several on here where they want you to put it on somewhere. Like for example, this sticker right here, which you can't see, it's supposed to go here where this giant hole is. Some of them are annoying, but I mean, you can be creative. You can put them wherever you want. Heck, honestly, when I was a kid, that's pretty much what we did anyhow. But as you can see, like I said, he does come with the Wrecker logo if you do want to put that instead of the actual Autobot logo. Now, I'm totally stealing this from my buddy Darth Devious, who did a review of this a couple days ago. And if you want to check that out, just search for Darth Devious. But he put the guns down here. And actually, I think it's a really good idea because when you come down here, well, first you have his head. It's just kind of dangling there. But if you don't have these in, you can see his fists right there. And that does kind of look ugly. But if you take these guns and peg them in there, and like I said, I stole this from him. I don't know if he stole it from someone else, but I'm stealing it from him. You put that down there, and it actually hides the hand, so it's pretty cool, and I dig that. All of these are designed to be mixed and matched and interchanged, so you can put these weapons in whatever configuration that you want. There's a lot of extra holes. You got some holes here, you got some here, you got some here, you got some here. One thing that really stinks is these holes are not very deep, so this doesn't go in all the way, and it barely stays in there. It stays in there fairly well, but it doesn't go all the way down. You can actually see the peg still sitting there, which is kind of annoying, but you do have that, and he comes with a lot of different weapons. So he comes with this missile pod here, which I just have sticking here. You have another shooting missile right there, but and again, Darth Devious touched on this, that this is a really sensitive missile, and it absolutely is. So do be careful with it because you will possibly lose it. You got two more guns here and here that are all just connected, and it's a weaponized ATV or whatever you want to call it. Rolls fairly well. Let's do the action pose. Oh, he killed Crimzeke. I'm gonna put that back there. He's just kind of hanging out, but he drives, and he doesn't drive all that well, but there you basically see what's going on. Taking these off, it looks really weird without the weapons on there, so I don't quite get it, but it's a weird looking vehicle. You can see that this is actually really very sloppily painted. Zooming in so that you can see this here. This top section here, it's like the orange, like this whole section is molded in orange, and then it just isn't fully painted, and you can see that it's really kind of sloppy right there. It's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, I guess what are you gonna do? Overall, though, I mean, nice looking vehicle mode. I don't think it's anything too spectacular. You get all these stickers that add a lot of nice detail to it. A lot of them are just like warnings: battery, 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 battery. Do not paint. Battery statuses and battery life and things like that. So it's kind of weird, but vehicle-wise, it's pretty decent. It's kind of small for a Voyager, but we're fairly used to that. So now to transform, and one thing I actually like is you got this right here, which kind of looks like he's got a giant cannon coming right here in the middle, which is kind of neat. Take this whole section, this pulls back just like that, straighten this out, separate this like so, take this, fold this down, rotate this down and around. And one thing that I do want to mention is my buddy Tristan actually pointed this out. The instructions tell you to leave the feet like this. If you do that, you are going to have a hard time getting this guy to stand, because he just wants to, he's got big ugly clown feet. These actually can bend back, and then you can ratchet this. So doing that gives him a little bit more of a stable look for his foot, and you can actually get him standing a little bit easier with it. So setting that there, then angling up some, you can see this section here, then just this all detaches. Pull this out, pull this out like that. Do that on that side as well. This whole section will swivel up like so. Take this whole section, bring this down. You got this little whole section here in this little tab. Take these and rotate these down and in like that, and then bring it down like so. Lock that into place. Ratchet this all the way around. Straighten out these arms. They tab in here, so you want to loosen that up and then straighten the arms at the elbow. Straighten them out. Get him to stand here for you. Straighten out his head, and here you had Roadbuster in his robot mode. And this guy's actually pretty fun. Now, the transformation is ridiculously simple, as you could see, but overall, it yields a pretty decent looking robot mode, I think. Again, you got the weapons here, which can be configured in a plethora of different ways and different things. You can peg it, well, you can drop them. You can put any sort of combination that you could possibly think of on this guy. You can take, like, for example, a gun here, and you can peg it there if you wanted to have some kind of a shoulder mounted gun thing with them. I mean, it's kind of weird looking, but I mean, you could do it. One thing that is also kind of interesting is that it actually, when you do this, it actually creates a second hole, or not a second hole, but another hole on the side of them, which, I don't know, I just figured stick something in there. Why not? It's a hole that fits these. Stick things in places, that's fine, but getting these off of them, you do get, like I said, a ton of weapons with them, so you can have a lot of fun with different posing options and things of that nature. Now, getting his feet properly aligned, but overall, I mean, again, I do think he's a decent looking robot. He really does evoke that G1 look that he had, and now while I don't have that figure, I have seen it countless times. I'm very familiar with that figure, but the guy here, though, just really nicely captures that look with the color, with the brown and the orange and the green. It all comes together really very nicely. All the added sticker details are really nice to have on them. The stickers, as I said, do kind of stink. They're not really good, honestly. The folks over at Hasbro really could have learned a lot from repro labels, but overall, figure-wise, I'm very impressed with him. I didn't think I was going to like him, and like I said, because I don't know anything about the character, it's hard for me to get all that excited about a figure, and that's honestly why it's taken me so long to review this. I just didn't have much of an excitement for doing them. But he turned out a lot better than I thought he would. One thing that's kind of weird, this is, again, I don't know why Hasbro does this. They put light piping there, and then they paint his eyes. He definitely does not have any light piping going on, but a really very nice looking figure. And a lot of these characters, when I don't know anything about them, they don't end up on my shelf. So I was not looking forward to having a space on my collection for this guy, but he definitely is going to get one. One thing that does suck, well, talking about the articulation, the head will rotate left and right. It's on a bit of a ball joint, so you get some nice up and down motion. You got the left, you got the right. A lot of ratchet joints on this. The shoulders rotate on some decent ratchet joints. The ratchet joints here on the outside, it goes out and there's a lot of ratchets there. The bicep swivel is really stiff. Not so much on this one, and I see a lot of people that have this. This one is really stiff, almost to the point where as I'm rotating it, I almost feel like it's about to just shear off the little mushroom cap right there. It's not good by any stretch of the imagination. Hopefully that loosens up over time. He does have two joints here at the elbow. You got one that's just on a bit of a pin, and then the lower elbow is actually ratcheted. But the part that sucks is he has no wrist articulation. You can see it's all molded here, and there's nothing really that you can do with it. Although I want to say they could have put a swivel in there, and then when you're transforming it, just make sure that you line that up. I don't know why they couldn't have done that. Maybe they were worried about a panel line, but I mean, it's Hasbro. When have they ever worried about panel lines? He doesn't rotate at the waist, although again, looking at it, I think they could have put that in there, but they didn't. He's ratcheted here at the hips, forward, back. Not so much in and out, and then when you're moving in and out, you can see that these orange side pieces here kind of get in the way, so you don't get too much outward motion. He does have a rotation at the upper part of the thigh, and he does have two joints here at the knee. You got a ratchet there, and then a ratchet at the lower part. The ankles here, they do rotate. You can get them moving forward and back, kind of tilting in and out. It does require some, get that straightened out, some creativity. Like I said, you want to make sure that you angle that back just to make it so that he can actually balance and stand. And even then, it can be a little bit of a chore to get him to stand, but it's definitely doable, and it's a lot better than just keeping it how the instructions showed, which is just absolutely terrible. But I'm really impressed with the guy. Like I said, it's one of those figures that I didn't have much interest in, but now that I've gotten him, I'm really very happy. Now to transform it back again, it's basically the exact same thing, and the transformation is very, very simple. Keep everything kind of locked up in here, tab that in like that, bring this up, tab that in like that, take this section, straighten the head out, bring this all the way around, take these bits right here, these are going to swivel down and around just like so, then these will angle in like that, then you bring these arms around, do that here, tuck that in, rotate these in, and then the best way to do this part right here is you got this little tab right here, and you got these slots. Kind of bring these up and fit them in that slot, and then slide it down to the point where you line up this panel underneath, and then you can push that all the way in and lock that bit, because you've got this little tab right here that has to go underneath there, and it's kind of hard to do, but if you kind of make it slide along this track, it'll slide up perfectly with that section right there and make it a whole lot more easy. Then take these and bring these forward. You're going to rotate these in, something like that. There we go. Like that. Here, bring these wheels out. Bring that up like so. Then rotate this just like that. Bring the two halves together. And you can see, the transformation is insanely simple. Then rotate this around, bring that in, then you tab this in, tab that in, kind of squish everything. And here you have him back in his vehicle mode. And then again, you can put this any which way that you want, whatever is your personal preference for a design look. But honestly, it's one of these figures that I had no interest in. I've said it several times already. I really didn't, and I'm very happy that I picked it up. One thing is, I tease my friend Bert all the time, and if you're watching this, Bert, there's your little shout out, my friend. I didn't want to review this because I honestly didn't like the figure. I didn't think I was going to like the figure, but I'm really happy with it. And I really do got to thank my friend Bert, because he's the one that harped on me a lot. When are you going to review Roadbuster? When are you going to review Roadbuster? Roadbuster. Well, here it is. And I gotta thank you, Bert, because I ended up really liking this figure. The vehicle mode here is weird. It's not really much of anything, but I mean, it's kind of a military-ish kind of vehicle, so it works. The transformation is ridiculously simple. I know a lot of people have a hard time with those. They just don't like their Transformers being that simple to transform. And I get that. They want complex transformations. They want a figure that challenges them, and this is definitely not going to be it. But once you get into that robot mode, it really feels satisfying. So without a doubt, guys, I would recommend picking this up. It is available right now at retail, or if you can't find him there, as always, he is available at Big Bad Toy Store. So all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You go to Big Bad Toy Store where you can pick this up and add it to your collection today. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been OPTIBOTIMUS. Don't forget that you can keep in touch with me by liking my Facebook page at facebook.com/TeamBotimus and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/OPTIBOTIMUS. Also, I'd encourage you to check out my new website at OPTIBOTIMUSreviews.com, where you can see all my videos from the previous week, see what I have coming up for future release, and also get your very own OPTIBOTIMUS t-shirt. And finally, I'd also really appreciate it, guys, that if you like this review, don't forget to please like, comment, and share this video. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.